Hello everyone, my name is Dakoba and welcome back to Satisfactory. The sun is rising and it is a new day, and that means we have a lot to do. Our main goal today is to get off of biomass. We've been sort of subsisting with our biomass power plant for long enough, but now it is time to move on to a more stable form of power in the game, which is going to break open the game so that we can do a lot more interesting and fun projects. In order to do that, we're going to need to build the space elevator, and so that will be our first task for today. Once we have the space elevator built, we will be able to send off smart plating. Now we need a total of 50 for our first project assembly part. We're up to 19 and we're producing 2 a minute, so it should be about 15 minutes, and then we will be able to do that. Now, I have chosen a location just across the lake for the space elevator. That way we'll be able to sort of see it in all its majesty. It's also the only, or the closest open space that's large enough to accommodate it. And we aren't going to build any sort of platform for it just yet. That's something we'll do later on once we expand our base a little bit more and are ready to properly decorate the place. But for now, let's go ahead and take a look at what the space elevator is going to require. So we'll add that to our to-do list to make sure that we have all the resources. Now, I also realized that we had forgotten to set up a production line in our previous episodes. So while we're over here picking up all the wire that we'll need, as well as some concrete, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and slap down another constructor over here. Looks like we're clipping with our power pole there, but that's okay. And we are going to set up another storage container, like so. And then let's come on over here and fix this power pole so we're not clipping anymore. Just like that, and like that, and then hook that on there, and we will make copper sheets. Now, we aren't going to need the copper sheets straight away. Those are going to come later on, but they will be used for piping. That is what we want, and so that will start to build up a nice little stockpile of that for now. I've also been out gathering up some more biomass because we don't want to run out of power just yet. We want to make sure we have everything we need to get coal up and running. So we, whenever we run around, we continue to gather up leaves and sticks, as well as any alien DNA we turn into biomass. And eventually we'll want to turn those into fix-it coupons. Oh, darn it. I've messed up. We're going to have to clear a belt. So that's something, if that happens, you need to delete the belt, unfortunately. And that will prevent any bad biomass from building up there. We want to send leaves into this container. Another reason to get this all automated so we can avoid mistakes like that. Our power plant is working for now. We are continuing to build up stockpiles of solid biofuel, and we'll continue to be able to use this as a dumping ground just for the time being. All right, this is the place I have chosen for our space elevator. We are just across the lake from our base. You can see it there through the mists. Now, there was an alpha hog sitting near this poison cloud I had to clear out. Fortunately, we've got our rebar gun, and he was not a problem. Let's go ahead and set up our space elevator later on.
Project assembly initialized. Congratulations, Pioneer. The space elevator will now automatically connect with the Project Assembly orbital platform. Project assembly is divided into phases, each of which require the delivery of project parts, such as smart plating, via the space elevator. Subsequent phases unlock access to new tiers with more advanced technologies to construct, automate, explore, and exploit. It is time to be honest. This project is part of the Save the Day program, the largest united undertaking in human history, destined to save us all. Earth is in peril and only Fix-It pioneers offer hope for survival. Fix-It is counting on you. Humanity is counting on you. Do not let Fix-It down.
All right, our first stack of smart plating is all finished, so let's pick that up and head on over to our space elevator. All right, we're coming up on our space elevator. Go ahead and do this right. Come on over here to our terminal. There we go. And boop.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation. Congratulations, the Phase 1 project part shipment is now ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 1 will be completed and the distribution platform will be constructed. After completion of Phase 1, the technologies of Tiers 3 and 4 will become available in the hub. Highlights are automated power, steel production, personnel transportation, and many more. Completing Phase 2 of project assembly is your next main objective. New project parts will need to be produced and delivered to the space elevator as you have done previously. Continue to construct, automate, explore and exploit for a better fix-it future. Phase 1 of project assembly completed. This is only the beginning of project assembly, the first step towards saving the day. You have performed adequately so far. Reminder: not only is Fix-It saving humanity, it is saving all of Earth, including kittens and puppies. It is statistically likely that you appreciate the continued existence of kittens and/or puppies. Continue the work for their sake. Continue the work for Fix-It. It is time to start the work on Phase 2 of project assembly.
Okay, let's head upstairs and take a look at coal power and see what that's going to require for us. I don't think we're going to be doing much for Phase 2. We're going to keep our smart plating assembler running so that we build up a nice stockpile and can just knock that part of this milestone out of the way. But let's pop into our hub and see what we can do for coal.
Milestone reached. Power production can now be fully automated by burning coal, which has been added to the resource scanner. Water is also necessary to run the coal-powered generator and will require a network of pipelines to be transported from a water source. To assist with locating and identifying water, Fix-It has compiled this guide. Water is a somewhat reflective liquid and it may have thick vegetation growing nearby. To test if something is water, try touching it. If it is not solid and does not corrode your suit, it is probably water.
All right. Now I have a design for a very basic starter coal power plant that will take 4 coal power generators and 2 water extractors to build. So that is a set of basic components we'll need. We'll also need stuff obviously for belts and for running cabling and all kinds of other stuff. So we'll make sure we're well stocked up, but then we can do a quick scan for coal. Alright, looks like we have some pure veins nearby, and those look like they may be located near water. I think this is the waterfall, so up at the top of the waterfall, and then we have some more down south. Now those are interesting. Those I don't believe were there during early access, so it might be worth exploring and learning about those veins, but I think for the moment we're just going to go ahead and get a nice stable power supply, and then we can make a plan from there, because having to constantly run around and gather biomass has turned from an interesting quirk into a bit of a chore, and it's time for us to stabilize. Once we have coal power set up, even if it's just a very small setup with 4 generators, that's going to be enough to give us all the time we need to decorate our base, to stockpile resources for more generators, to do whatever we want. The sort of time constraints of having to constantly be in search of biomass will go away. So let's pop on up to the top of this waterfall, and actually I think the right path for that is going to be right up here. So let's go ahead and set up So let's head on up this hill and see if we can't find that coal. Alright, on my way up the hill, we're coming across an alpha spitter. Alright, there we go. I was surprised to learn you can shoot the large shot from the alpha spitters, and it'll explode. And I don't know if it damages them when it explodes like that. If it's close enough to you, it'll still damage you. But that's a cool trick. Oh, looks like we have a pack of hogs guarding the path further. Ooh, we have found our first pale berries. This is excellent. This, that's great.
Potential edible collected. If consumed before authorized as compatible with the human digestive system by Fixit, the consumer is responsible for any and all consequences. Research it in the MAM to establish classification and potential application.
Right. Oh. We have an alpha hog. Got him. Alright, so we found the paleberry. That's going to be huge because that'll let us tame lizard doggos. It'll also let us do some more research in the MAM and get the nutritional inhaler, which I'm very excited about. But here is our coal vein. It is a pure coal vein. That is excellent. Did we... Okay, we brought our portable miners. Good. I didn't specifically gather those up. Let's go ahead and jump straight into the build and get this thing set up.
Interesting, most pioneers already had coal power set up by this point, because they understood their responsibility to humanity. Adjusting pioneer attitude metrics. Reminder, coal-powered generators require coal.
Alright, and that is a basic coal power plant all set up. The last step is going to be to jumpstart this with a couple of biomass burners. So let's go ahead and drop down a couple of those. And then I believe we have enough biomass in here to run for a few minutes. Let's connect these up to there and to our miner. And so we should now see the coal start to come down the line and flowing into the coal generators. Looks, is that belt not perfectly straight? Everything's on the global... That feels like there's a crooked spot in it, but the belt... Nuances of the building system, right? All right, we have our biomass burners up and running. We see our coal coming down the line and our water generators, our water extractors spinning up. We should start to see our coal power plants flicker on at any moment. All right, our coal power plants have come to life and are now providing 300 megawatts of power. Let's go ahead and double check our power system, make sure that everything looks in order. It does appear to. Now there is one little hiccup here, and that is that we are using 2 water extractors. These water extractors provide 120 units of water a minute, and each coal generator only takes 45 units of water a minute. So we are overproducing water, and we can solve this by reducing these water extractors to 75% efficiency. This will also reduce the power cost down to 13.7 megawatts apiece from 20. And so now we should see our true power requirements there at 32.3 megawatts consumed to power this plant and 300 produced. And that is lovely. This should now be stable and should be up and running. So let's head on back home and run a power line as we make our way down. Simply connect up this power line over here. And I wonder, can we do this? Let's jump off the falls and see if we can't run the power line as we go. Oh, we're out of iron rods. It's a disaster. Alright, well, I guess we have to head home to get some more iron rods anyways. Now, as we drift down to pick up some iron rods, I want to talk a little bit about something that I had missed on in a previous update of Satisfactory, and that is the parachute. What it feels like a lot is the paraglider from Breath of the Wild. And I remember the first time that I played Breath of the Wild and I got the paraglider, and it instantly changed how I approach open world exploration and adventure games. The ability to leverage altitude into distance, or to time a descent so that I, drop in precisely where I want to land, to use that in combat as we did with the Alpha Hog right before we built the coal power plant. And here, just being able to leap from where we're building our plant and get all the way back to our base, and not just to our base, but to the precise storage container we're looking for, is a fundamental game changer in how I approach the game. It's to the point where I think that when I first start a new Satisfactory world, instead of rushing for coal power or rushing for blade runners or rushing for whatever other technology is a big quality of life, the first thing I'm going to do in every new Satisfactory world is going to be rushing mycelium to get a parachute, because it's that big of an advantage, and I can't believe that I had missed it for the last 2 years. The change from it being, a consumable to just a piece of equipment is massive, and it's made me question how many other things that I've missed in this game that I now have to go through every single piece of equipment, every single alternate recipe, every single node in the research and technology trees, because I have no idea what else I may have missed. So I guess the moral of the story is that if you haven't been playing with a parachute, you should make one. But they are amazing, and Coffee Stain did it right. I'm glad we found those pale berries, because that will make fights like that a lot less scary once we have our nutritional inhalers in place. So our power grid previously was sitting at 450 megawatts, all of our biomass burners, and using 163. We are now sitting at 300 of production evenly, with the 810 capacity, because we still have those 2 biomass burners up at the top of the hill hooked up as well, so we can clear those out to regain a few materials. But we are now sitting on 300 megawatts of power comfortably, and as soon as we have the materials, we can go ahead and expand that. Let's pop back up and go through the design of that power plant, though, because I do want to talk about that a bit. Alright, so let's go through this power plant real quick, just so we can talk a little bit about how it works. We have 2 water extractors, each providing 90 water a minute. Now, normally water extractors provide 120 water a minute, and coal generators require 45. This means they line up in a perfect 3-to-8 ratio, so you can run 8 generators with just 3 water extractors. I actually generally prefer to use 2 extractors per 4 generators. I like that ratio better, and there are 2 reasons for that. Number 1 is the symmetry of it. 2 water extractors is exactly the same width as 4 coal generators, so this design that we have here is perfectly tieable, can be plopped down quickly anywhere, and will always work. It also saves a little bit of power, not very much. I think it's about 4 megawatts of power per per 8 generators. So having 4 generators running at 13.7 megawatts of power versus 3 generators running at 20, you end up spending it's 1.3 times 4, so a little over 5 megawatts of power that you save, so that basically enough to run a miner for free by doing it this way. It's small, but it adds up, and the only cost is the materials for an extra water extractor. So that cost is actually, a little bit of coal, and over time that trends towards infinity. But this is a nice little build that's quick, compact, 300 megawatts of power, and works perfectly every time. It's my preferred way to set up a set of water extractors. It's not very much though, and that's definitely something we're going to address. We're going to want to expand this, and that's what we're going to be doing over on this side here in a few minutes. But yeah, we have the sort of sandwich logistics layer underneath there, so we're piping in the coal from the other side using splitters to feed the generators from underneath, and then setting up the coal on this side, or sending in the water on this side. Now our plan here is going to be to extend this 4 more generators, 2 more water extractors on the other side there. I was going to duplicate it again and have 8 and 8, but this rock pile here is super annoying. So we may end up going a little further afield to build a larger coal plant in a future episode, and just sit with the 8 generators for now. But we didn't have the materials for 8 generators and 4 water extractors on hand, and so I wanted to get this up and running. We'll come back in just a few minutes with some more materials to rebuild this. However, before we do that, I spotted something while I was building this plant. So let's go ahead, grab a power line, and send it over here, and then send it over there. Let's pop on over and see what we can see. Out on this island in the middle of this lake. Let's see if we can get a better flight trajectory out there as the sun rises. Yes, it is a new kind of material, and it's one that I've been looking for. I believe, yes, this is Sam. All right, we have found some Sam.
The strange alien matter, colloquially known as SAM, seems to be in its dormant crystalline state, meaning it won't break down your body into its base atomic components on touch. This living matter is extremely versatile and has countless applications. Research it in the MAM to establish locally appropriate classification and application, as well as a secure method of awakening.
All right, I'm very excited. I've seen some of the teasers, some of the things that Coffee Stain has talked about with Sam, and I can't wait to try it. Unfortunately, this is an impure vein, so it's going to take a little while for us to gather enough to use, but we'll go ahead and mine some out and then head back to base with it so we can take a look at this research, see if there's anything that we can unlock yet, and if not, get a sense of what we're going to need to move forward with this, because there are things that I definitely want to play with Sam. Alright, it occurred to me that we actually had the materials for a MAM on us, so rather than running off, we can just go ahead and take a look at our SAM research here. And so we have gathered up 42 SAM. That'll get that first box opened up.
Strange alien matter analysis completed. Dormant crystalline SAM can now be found with the resource scanner. In its dormant state, it is safe to handle without special equipment and can be stored indefinitely. Research for enabling the reanimation of dormant SAM is now available.
Fill the rivers with blood and let the effigies defile our temples. The sun will follow.
All right. Well, we can also do SAM reanimations. Let's go ahead and unlock that.
SAM reanimation recipe unlocked. SAM can now be safely awakened, provided it is contained. Meaning, if not contained in special electromagnetic storage, it tends to start breaking atomic bonds of any matter it has physical contact with, and reconstructing it into easily transportable resources.
Scripture and blood compose harmony. Follow our hallowed temple halls and listen to the echoes of your ripples. Our bones are more beautiful than yours.
We're going to set up a quick production line here because we can actually reawaken this SAM with a constructor. Looks like. Set constructor up directly in front of our miner here. Feed that in. Now we're only mining 30 a minute, so we will undertune this to 25% clock speed. And then we can go ahead and drop some of that in. Take a look at another look at the tree. See what we need here. Now this requires steel pipes. We happen to have a couple hundred steel pipes from just exploration. It also requires 10 awakened SAM. And it looks like something also that we can craft in a crafting bench. So let's go ahead and set down one of those. Okay, and boom. Alright, we have some reawakened SAM. Let's see what that gives us. We also have the steel pipes and the wire.
SAM fluctuator recipe unlocked. The fluctuator can mimic unique communication through patterns of electric frequencies to instruct reanimated SAM to perform specific tasks or give specific restrictions, such as matter to energy conversion. It can also function as matter memory, reading the exact composition and state of a collection of matter in one location, breaking it down, and near instantly reconstructing it in another location, which has incredible potential for smart storage.
Your threads shift solid to fluid to a tapestry. Matter, 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 and mind and melody.
Okay. Alright, well this is very exciting. Unfortunately, we can handcraft the SAM fluctuator, but it, I believe, is going to require the manufacturer. This is something interesting. If we mouse over at the tooltip, shows that it's produced in and then has a comma and then the crafting bench. So I think it's not telling us what machine it's in because we haven't unlocked that machine. That machine is going to be the manufacturer. It's got 3 solid inputs. But we can handcraft this, and that means that as soon as we get back to base with enough of this reanimated SAM, we should be able to take a look at things that are further down the tree. Now, it does require the steel pipe, so that's something we're going to have to work towards very soon, and we may be handcrafting these, but I can't wait to get these dimensional depots. I have read about these, and I am very excited. Or rather, I saw the trailer video, and I'm very excited. So let's go ahead and let's see how many we need. 11 SAM fluctuators. That's going to be 66 reanimated SAM. So let's go ahead and just let this build up for a minute and build the rest of our power plant, and then we will worry about that. So we'll just leave this here, start to build a stockpile of this reanimated SAM, and come back to it at a later time. Let's go ahead and build a pathway out of here. And let's pop down and get some more components at base to expand our power plant. It's a good problem to have, but there are a million things to do. Oh, we have something. Let's go ahead and get our first lizard doggo friend. Some pale berries now. We can tame a lizard doggo. Let's try this one more time. All right. Hello, Lily. Let's escort this one back home and set up a containment area for it. All right, we have made it back to base. over a too high wall. We can still jump over a too high wall. Okay. Well, hopefully Lily will be safe there for now. But we are back here. Let's go ahead and gather up the materials for 4 more power generators. All right, we have restocked on some of our stuff. We've also gotten another Mercer Sphere, one of the other ones we'd found. Well, the only other one we'd found to date. And so hopefully that will let us do some more research into SAM while we're up there. But let's start off by heading up and building our extended power plant. We'll extend our power production from 300 megawatts to 600 megawatts, and that should be enough to last us until we're prepared to do a full proper power plant expansion and probably do a much larger one. I'm thinking in the order of either 2400 or 3600 megawatts, but that will require some more work and some more planning because we'll need to find the right environment for that as well. So let's pop back up there and get this thing built. Here's what I'm talking about. These rocks mean we can't place a power pole anywhere along here. So we have to do some funky business with these power lines. Those out of the way, let's pop back on over and see what we can find with this SAM. All right, returning to our SAM production site, we now have enough SAM material on hand from being produced that we were able to make our 11 SAM fluctuators. So going back to our MAM, if we go into the alien technology tree, we compare that with the other Mercer Sphere that we found to unlock the Dimensional Depot.
Dimensional Depot unlocked. SAM can be utilized to deconstruct matter down to its chemical elements in one dimension, and the Mercer Sphere allows it to be transferred and stored in another. Once parts are fed into the Dimensional Depot, they can be accessed by the Pioneer inventory and build gun system at any time, anywhere.
We see through the window. It is pathetic. Consume more blood. The glass will not shatter, the metal will not bend, the wood will not splinter. Weave.
Unfortunately, it looks like the Dimensional Depot requires a Mercer Sphere. We don't have any more, so those are going to be a thing we have to come by. Let's leave this running and let's head on home. And I think that may be where we leave our episode for today. We have done a ton. We've got safe power. We sent off our space elevator. We managed to set up stable power that should last us for at least a few more episodes until we're prepared to set up a more robust power system. And we have found SAM and started exploiting it. We've also found our first lizard doggo, which is great. I love having a couple of those around at the base, and so we are in a good place. Let's go ahead and jump off this waterfall to head on home. There is another trick I wanted to show you guys with the parachute. Another reason to get one is if you are flying and you're not going to quite make a cliff, if you run into it backwards, sometimes it just gives you a little bit of extra altitude. I'm not sure why. I think it's just a trick with how the game works, but it's something that we can take advantage of to make getting around that much easier before we get a jetpack and similar things. And in our next episode, I think we're going to go ahead and take advantage of our new power to set up a factory that'll produce some awesome tickets so that we can get some customization options and properly decorate our factory. I'm tired of having this mess that looks like it was just sort of plopped down in the desert. So we'll clean that up and play with some of the customization options, and then we will take a look at what new factories are available to us. Perhaps we'll take a dive into steel, or maybe construct a modular frame factory. We have a nice iron vein right over there that we can tap for a purpose such as that. That's going to do it for today. I'd like to thank you guys for spending a few minutes out of your day with me here in the world of Satisfactory. I hope you've enjoyed this episode or found it helpful. Leave a like if you have, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. My name is Dakoba, and I hope you have an efficient day. I'll see you soon.